Bowman here from BW1, and in this video I'm going to give you my review of PowerDirector Live. It's a pretty cool application. I use PowerDirector to pretty much edit all my videos on BW1, and it really gives some really versatile tools and features in a very simplistic way to make some pretty cool videos. So we're going to give you the best way I figure I'm going to be able to do this review is to basically go through one of the more simpler videos that I'm going to edit for the channel so you can get an idea of how I sort of use it here. So we are using PowerDirector Live, which is basically PowerDirector 12. Now the reason they call it live, and anytime you see live at the end of any of Cyberlink's products, it's part of the Cyberlink cloud. So basically you're able to actually upload your content and your settings and such, your templates and everything that you use onto their cloud, and then be able to sync it around and be able to go to another computer that has PowerDirector Live installed with it and download all your settings and such. Basically, if you're coming from a desktop and you have your settings and you have your project and you need to leave and you want to continue on your laptop on the go, you can go and upload all the project settings up, and then you can just download it from there and such. So basically the easiest way to show that is you can go here from download project, you can upload a project, you can pack project materials and upload to the cloud if you want to. You go and hit that, and let's say I want to hit vibration settings. Okay, we hit OK there. Alright, I have a project already uploaded, and then I'll override it. Now I'm not going to upload the whole thing, just going to upload some of the basic things with it. Hit yes. And now it's uploaded everything in the cloud, and basically what you'll see here is when you log on to the cloud here itself, you'll see that I have my settings right here, the size, and I can select, click on here, select download it if I want to, and I can download it either outside the program, within the program. I can also upload music, video, photos, templates, and so on. I have mostly up here my you can see the different applications you can use. PowerDirector, Photo Director, Color Director, and Audio Director all support this, which is pretty cool. If you go into my projects, if you go into PowerDirector, I basically have a main template here that I use for all my videos, and I usually download that to whenever I have to go to another computer or my laptop to do some editing. Pretty cool. So that's basically the gist of sort of the live functionality. They give you 10 gigabytes. I have free cloud storage to upload things to. You can purchase some more storage if you want to as well. It's part of Director Suite Live, and the nice thing about it is that you'll always get the latest version of the application. So if you stay on a subscription model, which is roughly about $99 for 1 year, $49.99 for about 3 months, if you stay on a subscription model, you'll be able to get the latest versions continuously all the time. So it's pretty cool to make sure you're always up to date on the latest software. So alright, now that we've run through that, kind of explain the cloud, let's jump into sort of how I use PowerDirector. So I'm going to make a multicam video, and the nice thing about PowerDirector 12 is that they added a multicam designer, which is pretty cool. So I have these 2 videos here that I'm going to highlight. I'm going to click here at the top, and there's where my plugins are. I'm going to choose multicam designer. So I'm going to pop that open, and you can see here how they have the multicam. I can import video and import audio if I want to, if I recorded my audio separately. For this case I didn't, I just recorded audio on the cameras here themselves. You can add up to 4 different cameras to kind of use simultaneously. Now the way this works is that it'll actually do an audio analysis to be able to sync up your videos. I know that was one question you had, so how does this all sync up? Now I do a good job of trying to make a click or a pop or a sound while both cameras are recording, so it can kind of find a way to sync that way. But all you gotta do is hit audio analysis. It's gonna go through, analyze it, and you'll see a little bit of a shift down here as it syncs both of them up here. So now I have both my clips synced, and one is camera 1, one is camera 2, and I want to do a sort of a multicam shot here. So let's bring it back here a little bit, and the way we do that is as I'm getting set here for the video, let's go ahead and scroll up here and see myself getting ready for the video, putting everything in order, maybe a little goofy. Alright, so let's bring this back. I can see I started right about there. Okay, let's say I started right about there. Alright, so now I just want to hit record, and this is going to go ahead and go through. Now the nice thing is I can fast forward this if I want to, just by kind of clicking on it to make it go a little bit faster. As you can see here, I changed sort of my angle. I went from one camera to the next camera, so I want to come back here a little bit, and I want to time it just right out. I just click right there at the top, as you saw there. As you saw right there, it clipped right at the top. Now it's on the second camera here. and I'm gonna go through this. I'm just kind of pulling, and you can go slow if you want to, but I'm just kind of pulling it over here just to kind of make this a little bit faster. And you can see I went back to the other camera at the top now to make that happen. Just gotta time it. And boom, there I am. And there I am, back to camera 1. Pretty simple, pretty easy to use. And let's say I just want to make sure this ends, so we'll wait for this here a little bit. And it takes a little bit of time for it to catch up, especially when you're kind of dragging it like there. Put on the settings, it's me talking, end of the video. And somewhere around the end I say, LivyTech World High Definition. Hit the record button right there to stop recording. Now my settings are pretty much set for the multicam. I hit OK. And boom, it's right all there at the bottom here in the multicam section. And on my timeline here, the video's laid out perfectly. Pretty cool. All right, and the audio is laid out perfectly as well too, because it chooses the best audio to use. You can switch between audio between two cameras, chooses the best one, and makes it all on one audio track here. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and highlight this video. I'm gonna move everything up here to the top timeline here to make things a little bit easier. All right, so now we have our video multi-cammed out, and now we have a few different things we want to do in edit. We want to maybe fix the color up a little bit, maybe. We want to fix the audio a little bit. We may want to zoom in a little bit. A few other different things we want to add on with it. So to do that, we have all these different rooms here to choose from to get your editing on, to get some good editing, get some good video quality out of it here. So we have the effect room. I can add effects. The picture room here. You can see there's tons of categories, and you can download more from Cyberlink as well. If you go to cyberlink.com, they do have, I can't remember the name of the website off the top of my head, but you can go there and you can download more templates and stuff as people make them, so that's pretty cool to have. You have the particle room here, so you can add different little particle effects. This is your title room, transition room. This is where you have your audio. This is voiceover recording if you're doing that, your chapter room, and then your subtitle room. But we're gonna pretty much start here. The first thing I want to do is I actually want to click on the video here itself, and I want to zoom in just a little bit on myself, so I can do that easily by just kind of dragging this out a little bit, centering this just a little bit more. So there. So it gets the other camera out of the frame there, makes it a little bit easier. And let's say I want to do a little bit of enhancements to this, so I can adjust my lighting, my stabilizer, this video denoise. But let's say I actually want to do some video enhancements, so you can hit enhancing here. You see you can move up the video, and you can change the degree as to where this is, and this will vary based upon the quality of the camera that you're using and how much this sort of affects it. So we'll leave it at 50%. I can do a color adjustment, but I want to do white balance, so I click on white balance, and I want to calibrate this actually, and I want to do that by clicking on the little droplet there, and I know this background is white, so we should see it adjust here on the side, so you can see it calibrated, so the video looks a little bit better. Alright, I can go in the color effect, open up Color Director, and all the programs are linked. So Power Director, Photo Director, Color Director, Audio Director are all linked together in this sort of just one giant suite, so you can jump between all the programs when you're running a project here. Alright, so I've pretty much done that. So I have my little edits there. So let's see, the next thing I want to do, I can go here into Power Tools actually. And if I want to rotate the video, crop it a little bit more, if I want to speed it up a little bit, I can do that as well too. There's so many powerful tools inside of this thing. It's crazy. You can do some keyframing as well too, so you can do different enhancements. Alright, so now that I've got that done, let's say I want to do some audio editing here. Just this particular clip. I'm going to take care of the other clips here in a second, but let's say I want to do some audio editing here too. Now I'm going to hit Edit Audio, and I have Audio Director installed. What it'll do is when I hit that, it's going to open up Audio Director. That'll pop up in here. And basically, the Audio Director is a very good audio editing tool for those that do mostly video and are not necessarily the greatest in terms of audio directing, and you don't know how to do that as well as someone else would know how to really do it. But this is really made for video editors. So I want to do some noise reduction here, and I'm going to click next. Alright, it's going to analyze it. And after it finishes analyzing, I'm going to go here. I can adjust the sensitivity of the noise reduction and noise reduction level. So I'm going to go 5, and I like to go to about a 40. And this is going to vary based upon the equipment that you're using to do the initial recording. So I can hit preview here, and it gives me a little bit of a preview of what the audio is going to sound like. So I kind of like that. So I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to say apply to the entire audio content. Apply. Go ahead and hit OK. We're going to go ahead and hit back. And it'll say all modifications will be saved to the audio file after they are sent to PowerDirector. Do you want to save changes you made to the audio file? Yes. So what it's going to do is it's going to separate the audio from the video, and it's going to create a separate WAV file, and that WAV file will show up here. So now that is now edited for the entire clip, which is pretty cool. And you can do that for each audio file that you have, but I have it specifically for this one, so it's all one audio clip here. All right. So now that we have that edited here, I'll do my little more enhancements here in just a second, and I'll come back to that, but let's just jump really to the end here, where I've got everything sort of done. I got my video edited the way I want to. We'll drop right here, and I want to cut things right there, actually. So I can hit split. I usually just delete this off like that. Now I want to add a couple of things. I want to add my end credit title. So I go to the title room here. I already have it done. You can create this in PowerDirector as well too, which I created this one. Let's see if I can double click on it here to open it up. And you can do a title designer. It gives you a ton of options, your fonts, reflection, font shadowing, border shadowing, 3D settings, image settings. I already added an image here as my background instead, but you can completely create it. You can add motion as well too. I added motion to the text here for it to slide in, but yeah, I have a ton of different motion options as well for you to choose from here on the side, so you can really get some good customization going. It's pretty cool. So I already have that set there. All right, now that I have that set, I usually like to add like the next video within here, so I'm going to look for another video I want to add in here with it. This sort of maybe matches up with the content that I'm looking at here on the channel, so actually I'll grab that right here in just a second. I usually have it prepared, but for some reason I didn't have it prepared in this particular video. I'm going to go ahead and grab that here for you. I know I want to show my verses here, so I'll bring that up, and this sort of the end title to show sort of another video that's coming up. So what I do is I drop that in here and I push that over to a certain point in the video where I want it to show between that time frame, usually about 10 seconds or so. So I click split, hit delete here, delete gap, and then I go to the other end here and I go ahead and hit split one more time and hit delete and remove gap. Now you can go in here and you can detect scenes, and you can do some other different ways to sort of go about doing this. I just kind of like doing it this way. Now I'm gonna hit right click and I'm gonna go ahead and unlink audio from video because I don't need the audio from it, because I'm gonna have some other audio I'm gonna put in there with it. So click tap there to delete the audio, and I want to shrink this video because it's taking over the whole title. I don't want the whole title to be taken over. So I go ahead and bring that down here, boom, bring it over here, and the size is just about right. And now we have the video in there, but I want to add a couple of effects to it. So I double click on the video. And I want to apply some shadow, just something simple, but you can do a ton of different things. It's got pretty much all the power from the picture-in-picture designer you can do in here within the video as well too. So I want to apply shadow. I want to make the distance 6. I want to make the blur 5. I want to make the transparency at 30%. And I want to move the direction over here. I'll leave it at this color, at the black color here. And you can see it adds a little bit of shadow here to make it seem like it's hovering over the background. Go ahead and hit save, and now that's added here, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add some of my transitions here. And well, actually I want to add my music before I add the transitions, so I'll go to my clips here, and I want to add this microchip theme here at the end of the video, so it plays. So I put that right at the end, and I want the clip off right about there, so I hit another split and delete this off, and there it goes. Alright, so let's add some transitions. Add the transitions room, and you have a ton of different transitions to choose from. I mean, 3D-like ones, 3D ones, audio transitions. You have different categories, blocks, shapes, slides, specials, stripes, wipes, and you can add more if you want to. You can go to directorzone.com. That's the name of the website now. Remember, directorzone.com will have them all there for you. But I'm going to go to my favorites. These are the ones that I typically use the most. And I'm just going to use a simple fade transition here. Add it, and now you can edit and modify the transition as you want to there. So it comes at the right point that you may want it at. I'm going to move this clip back over to about there. And I'm going to move this to about here. Oh, actually, I want to move the audio to start a little bit sooner. You can see the little black lines that come up here. it kind of helps you and guides you into sort of locking things into the right place, which is a really cool thing I like that the editor does here. So you can see this lines up here now. Alright, so let's add another transition. So I want to transition this because I want this to slide in, so we'll do a shove. Click on the shove here. I want to make it a pretty quick one, and I also want to modify, which I can change the duration here, but I just kind of slid it over to change the duration of it, but I want to change the direction too because I want it to come from the right. So we hit that. Alright, go ahead and bring that up in a little bit more, so that brings that over. And now I want to add my fade effects as well too, so I want to add I want this to fade out the audio right there on this particular clip on the main video. Then on audio 3 I want it to come up here, and then I want to go to the end. I can just hit end to do that, and I want to fade the audio out there in the end as well too. So now the end of my video will look like this. You can see there. Cool, pretty simple, pretty easy to do there, as you can see. Now I did that pretty simply there. Now you might see some times where the video or might stagger a little bit with the transition effects depending on the video card, depending on your setup. That's not going to show up in the final product, just to let you guys know. The final product will be smooth once you decide to export out. So let's see, I got a couple more things I need to edit in this video, so let's go ahead and go back here, and I want to do some fixing and enhancing as well too here. And let's see, I'm gonna go my normal speed, go as fast as I possibly can. And I want to white balance this video as well too, and I know my Galaxy S5 here is white, so click that. Should make it look a little bit nicer. Very cool. Alright, and then I want to come back here. I want to do basically the same thing I did in the first clip. I want to zoom in just a little bit there, line it up. Oh, let me bring that in just a little bit more. Right up like that, and then I want to do the same fixing and enhancing. Enhancement, I want to change the white balance and tap it on right to here, and there you go. And my video is pretty much all set to go. And I always make sure I hit Control S to save, and I save consistently, but just because you want to make sure your projects, you know, in just case of a crash or anything that happens, PowerDirector is very, very stable, but you never know, and you always want to consistently save because you don't want to have to go back and do a whole bunch of work again. So now I have everything set here. I usually go watch the video through one time just to make sure everything's produced and pushed the right way. But now I want to go ahead and produce this film, this video here. So now there's different options you can choose from. And standard 2D is what I usually do for editing out. But you can have 3D options, no 3D timeline of course. You can export out from this particular device. You can go online if I want to upload directly to YouTube, which I typically don't do. I like to just kind of upload it myself because I have my own settings I want to put within there. Now from here, this is where I can choose my my output settings. I usually leave it at the default one. Is MPEG 4 1920 by 1080 30 frames per second. Now that's pretty simple and pretty easy to use. Now if you upload it to YouTube, it might tell you on YouTube that hey, the video could upload faster if you set up fast video settings. It's a specific setting that's usually in QuickTime based videos. It's not in this particular video editor or MPEG 4 with them. It's not something I would necessarily worry about. But you can do some different editing here. You can choose some different ones. You can go up to 4K if you want to. If I hit a plus here, I can actually create a custom profile and really get down and dirty and edit this the way specifics the way I want to here. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave that pretty much here at the basics. Now you can use, next thing you can use down here is fast video render technology. They have SVRT, which basically what that does is that it detects, this is basically intelligent SVRT. Basically what this does, it detects the portions that just need to be rendered while nothing else needs to be rendered, so it makes it a little bit quicker for you. Not something I particularly use that often here, and I might be describing it a little bit wrong, a little bit too basic, but that's basically what I know that it does. But we're going to use the hardware video encoder. It's going to take advantage of your video card to output the video a whole lot faster for you. So let's go ahead and leave the settings here, and let's change this. This is change the title here to Galaxy S5 vibration settings, and it'll tell you how much free space, use space, time available, time remaining, and it'll actually give you an elapsed time here. Now you can actually have this preview the video so you can watch it as it renders. I usually don't enable that. I usually just hit start, let it go here, and it will give us sort of a time remaining. So this will kind of adjust, and it's usually about anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes, depending on the size of the video and the style of the video and so on, how many effects you have, how much you've edited with it, the time length of the video, that all affect that time there. So we're going to go ahead and let this render out here in just a second, and we'll see what the final output looks like. Alright, here, now we have our video edited out here and exported out. It took about 3 minutes and 10 seconds or so to finish here, so not too long. Let me go ahead and hit play on here. I'm going to turn the audio down on the video just here a little bit so you can hear me. We'll turn it up here a little bit so you can hear the audio. Alright. Now I can go ahead and fast forward here if I want to. You can see the transition between the cameras. We'll go back. Turn the audio down so you can see the transition from camera 1 to camera 2, just like that. And we'll go ahead and kind of fast forward to do this, and you can see that the other camera kind of came back. Let's take a look at some of the effects here at the end. And you can see the fade in, the transitions, boom, done. And there you go, and that's how I edit typically one of these type of videos in for BW1.com using PowerDirector. I love using PowerDirector because when you want to go simple, it's easy enough, quickly get a video done without too much stress, without too many issues. And if you want to do something more complicated, it does have the features packed in for you to be able to do that, and it's a great all-around suite together. I really would recommend the live version because if you're going to do a lot of video editing, you're going to save some money with that, and you're always going to get the latest versions of PowerDirector. So that is my review of this pretty awesome program, Cyberlink PowerDirector Live, and I'm gonna try to get a couple of the other programs that I use. I use PhotoDirector as well too, so I'll try to give you guys a review of that as well, and sort of how I use that to work on BW1.com. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps us out, especially if you're looking into video editing and such. If you know someone is looking into doing video editing, send this over to them as well too. Share it around. It's really going to help them out as well. Give you some idea of how PowerDirector sort of works here. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, become a fan of our Facebook fan page. Check us out on all social networks and our main website at BW1.com. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.